Hello everybody. Welcome to Iron Wolf's Ships of Lost Lore. Today we are talking about the TIE/AD for Advanced Starfighter. This ship was a direct advancement of Darth Vader's TIE Advanced Mark 1 and the TIE Interceptor. This was basically the TIE Interceptor and Darth Vader's TIE Advanced had a baby. It was known by its nickname, the TIE Avenger, by TIE pilots. Rebel pilots, as was mentioned in the book X-Wing's Rogue Squadron, this is all legends, was known as a Bright. It was basically meant as a high-speed space superior fighter to be able to take down anything that the rebellion had, and it could do just that. It was only superseded by the follow-on development of the TIE Defender in Legends. In canon, the TIE Defender is a little bit of a different beast, and maybe I'll do a comparison between the two. But the TIE Defender did supersede this fighter, so this fighter was only created in very, very limited numbers. It was very costly. It had a lot of systems on par or superseding anything that the Alliance had. Now, I will be doing a direct comparison between this fighter and the RZ-A1 just in terms of speed and firepower. But as you can see here, Senior Fleet Systems, SFS, these guys built all the TIE fighters. Model, twin engine, standard twin ion engine fighter. Alright, now, length 9.8 meters, maximum acceleration 16 megalights per second. A megalight is basically the equivalent of our modern day miles per hour. It's just speed in space. Now, as you can see here, it can do 133 megalight per hour, basically. It's a very quick fighter. To give you a comparison, we have the RZ-1A wing. This is basically the high-speed interceptor that the Rebellion used. It's 9.6 meters, which is slightly smaller than the TIE Advanced, but it can only do 120. So the TIE Advanced is actually faster. It's also more nimble. It can turn harder. And it carried a hell of a lot more weaponry. Alright. As you can see, like the TIE Interceptor, which is another one of my favorite fighters, but has been talked about length, it carries the angular wings, both front and back. As you can see here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 laser cannons. And as I recall, the torpedo launchers were here and here right off the cockpit, either down here or right here and right here. I can't remember which. But this is a very compact, very high speed, very well defended frame. This thing was faster than an A-Wing, more nimble than an A-Wing, and had the defenses just as good as an X-Wing. This thing was the complete package. You couldn't ask for more out of a fighter. Well, actually you could. That's where you get the TIE Defender. Let's go into some of the other specifics. Standard Fleet System, twin ion engines. I'm not going to say the whole thing here, but basically these ion engines were an advancement of both Darth Vader's TIE Advanced and the TIE Interceptor. This was an upgraded version. Now you're going to see something here. A hyperdrive. This hyperdrive was pretty much standard mounted on every TIE Advanced, and it also went into the TIE Defender. They were the first fighters that were built from the keel out for a fighter, for the Empire to have hyperdrives. Standard Senior's Fleet solar ionization reactor. How it works is, reactor sat back here, the wings, they just soaked up all solar energy, light, heat, whatever. Turn it into power, and that's what kept the fighters going. It was a very robust, very efficient way of keeping a TIE fighter flying. And it's a standard thing for all TIE fighters. You're all just big solar panels just soaking up energy. Hull, titanium hull, pretty much, same as any other fighter. Even the X-Wings were made with titanium. In fact, actually, we'll skip that. Navigation Senior's Fleet System, same thing with the avionics, Weapon systems, like I said. Now these SFS L-S9 3 laser cannons, they had 4 of them like I showed you. These are the same laser cannons that were on the TIE Interceptor, which were extremely good laser cannons, and they were used on the follow-on TIE Defender. Multi-purpose warhead launchers. As you can see here, standard capacity was 4 concussion missile launchers, 3 proton torpedoes, 2 heavy rockets, or a space bomb. And the 3 proton torpedoes, that was the same firepower as an X. Like I said, this thing pretty much has the same firepower as an X-Wing, just in a more compact, faster frame. And it also came with a tractor beam later on. Tractor beam in the game, TIE Fighter, which this fighter was heavily featured in, could lock up a fighter for about, as I recall, 10 seconds. But with the amount of firepower that a TIE Avenger has, you could easily destroy a Y-Wing or an X-Wing in that amount of time. Okay. Now, Merrick Steele, this was basically the protagonist of Star Wars TIE Fighter. This fighter was his preferred fighter. Okay.
And every dollar they spend at hotels.
Shut up. Oh, you gotta love the advertisements. Alright, let's go into a bit of the history. Alright. Considering, TIE fighters are getting slaughtered by the dozen. TIE Fighter LM, that was just a standard TIE fighter, mounting in major replacing of pilots. Basically, this led to a complete reevaluation of how the Empire was doing business when it came to fighters and pilots. So, under the direction of Admiral Demetrius Zarin, he started exploring prototypes using the TIE Advanced, like I said, TIE Fighter, Darth Vader's Advanced TIE Fighter as the basis, and building out from there. But where we went into problems is, at first, like I said, TIE Advanced did come without a hyperdrive because of the being able to mount a small hyperdrive inside of a fighter. In fact, this is the reason why, if you watch Star Wars Episode 2, the Delta 7 that Obi-Wan flies, this is a little bit of trivia, uses a sled ring because at the time they couldn't find a hyperdrive small enough. It wasn't until another Jedi Master, and his name escapes me, was able to tinker with it. He took out the spare parts that Obi-Wan used to fool Jango Fett and replaced it with a small hyperdrive, and thus got rid of the hyper sled ring. But once Admiral Zarin discovered the scientists that had created a whole regular hyperdrive model that was small enough to be fit inside a TIE Avenger, and it became fixed with the hyperdrive. Okay. Its adoption, basically, because of how complex and how costly it was to build these things, they were not used in gigantic service. But Admiral Harkov was basically one of the few ones. Now, Admiral Harkov, basically, the Sleep on Civil War was Chapter 2 of Star Wars TIE Fighters, I recall, and Admiral Harkov was one of the first ones to start taking large inventory of TIE Avengers. Like I said, it was met with success, but because of cost and the Empire of basically throwing enough crap at a wall till it stuck, they went more, again, with TIE Interceptors and bombers. In fact, they went full production into the TIE Interceptor and decided that it was cheaper and less expensive to produce, and that's one big reason why the TIE Avenger. And then the successor from Admiral Zarin was the TIE Defender, and it quickly replaced the TIE Avenger as the big space superiority. In Legends, it was even faster. Hell, let's bring it up and I'll show you. In Legends, the TIE Defender was even smaller, accelerated faster, was even faster. It's at the maintenance level, but basically it could reach 180 if you dumped everything into the engines. And an atmosphere did 1680. Now, one thing that TIE Defender wasn't, if I recall, actually it was slightly better, and it was slightly better on the helm. Basically, this thing, the TIE Defender basically was just the TIE Advance. They took everything that it built on and just built it to the extreme. But there was a couple of problems with the TIE Defender. Because of its tri-wing, it had a dangerous blind spot over the top that, as you can see there and here, TIE Avenger doesn't. So basically, a smart TIE Avenger pilot could dive over the top of a TIE Defender, and TIE Defender never see him come until the laser bolts started hitting. And it was a common tactic that General Merrick Steele used when Admiral Zarin went rogue and took a large number of TIE Avengers and TIE Defenders. It took a long time for them to be hunted down. On top of Admiral Zarin defecting, Admiral Harkov attempted to defect as well to the rebellion and pretty much try to take his Imperial class Star Destroyer Victory Mark II to the along with the rest of his squadron over to the rebels, along with a good number of TIE Avengers. It took Merrick Steele a long time to basically take Admiral Harkov down and then the rest of his squadron. But as I said, General Merrick Steele was pretty much one of the most legendary aces, and this is just in Legends and in the game. And this was his fighter of choice. He loved it. He knew everything about it, and even up into the Yuzhan Vong War, he still preferred the TIE Defender. I mean, not the Avenger over the Defender. Okay, some final thoughts before I wrap this up. I tried to stay away from the rambling. I guess it's just my style. Sorry, guys. But the Avenger is my fighter of choice. If I had to pick one fighter out of any era, Legends or canon, this is it. Her speed, maneuverability, vision, weapons, loadout. I mean, even the new X-Wings that Poe Dameron uses, this thing would give it a run for its money. If not, flat out beat it. This fighter was very tough to beat. It was well built. It could take a pounding before it went under, but I know it's a little bit of plot art from Star Wars TIE Fighter, but there was no fighter I feared taking on even TIE Defenders with this thing. This thing was love at first fly, and it's too bad this fighter has not made it into the canon series. I really wish it would have. This fighter would have been prime to replace in canon the stupid among stupid, just another variant of the TIE Fighter, which happens to be two-seater. This thing could have easily been turned into a two-seater and had a rear gunner. The way, I mean, with the Poe Dameron escape, for example, this thing would have been perfect for that sequence over those stupid upgraded TIE Fighters. Because all it did in The Force Awakens is basically make a TIE Fighter, two-seater, and it had shields. Instead of doing something creative and giving us something beautiful to look at like this. This would have been much better to look at on screen than those stupid upgraded TIE Fighters, in my opinion. That's just my 2 cents, but hope you guys enjoyed this stroll down memory lane. And hopefully right after this, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do the YT-2400. So stay tuned. I hope you like this video. And down in the comments, for anybody who would like to, please let me know of any ship, any lore, Star Wars, Star Trek, The Expanse, Firefly, anything you guys can think of, ships that are lost to obscure lore. I will look them up. I will try to give you the best look that I can. And I hope you guys enjoy the series. Iron Wolf, out.